human being. Okay, thank you.
Got into civil services in the year 2011. That is last year. So it happened to be my second attempt. First of all, I will explain how my journey took place. So it all started in the year 2007. So in the year 2007, I have decided that I will take up civil services as my future career. So for that purpose, I have been to this institute. I have been told by my friend that there is an institute in Chennai which gives coaching for civil services, and I happened to meet Kalyan sir at that point of time. And so that was my final year in BTech. And then I had done 1 year job in a software firm. It is called named Reflexes. And I have given my first attempt in 2009. I was working at that point of time and had very little time to cope up with my studies. But fortunately, I could spend daily 4 to 5 hours with dedication for preliminary examination purpose. So I could get through this preliminary examination in my first attempt itself. I have given my mains in 2009, but unfortunately I couldn't cross mains at that time. So, later Kalyan sir gave me an opportunity to teach geography in this institution, and I have made that opportunity very useful for me in my life, and it has made me get very good marks, score very good marks in my next attempt, that is 2010 attempt. So it is my second attempt, that is 2010 attempt. I got through this service, and it is geography and essay that helped me to get through this service. And then later it was 2011, that is third attempt, which I have given quite recently. I am expecting for mains results and interview call. Right? This is how I started, and I am moving till now. I am even now I am reading for examination. I haven't stopped because I want to get into elite IAS or IPS. So that is my career aim, and so I am preparing for examinations. Then coming to civil service preparation. Actually, as you might have come across by this time, there are 3 stages in this examination: preliminary examination, mains examination, and interview stage. Well, quite recently, they have introduced a change, that is a CSAT in preliminary examination. So for preliminary examination purpose, what I suggest you is to read NCERT books, read Hindu paper regularly, and focus on CSAT. Because what happens in CSAT examination, if you don't practice and go to the exam, probably you might score around 35 or 40 questions. You might attempt 35 or 40 questions correctly. But if you practice correctly, and if you practice more number of papers, there is a chance that you may get, there are people who got 60 questions correctly in this CSAT examination. Only this CSAT examination gave them an opportunity to write mains examination. This is one of the dynamic change that have taken place quite recently. So I advise you to read NCERT books and newspaper, and prepare well for CSAT examination, for preliminary examination. Then,
what is the third point, sir?
Prepare well for CSAT.
What is the process we need to follow?
Right. So for CSAT, you can perhaps register anywhere where in any coaching center where there are some test series are happening, and practice those questions. So with that, you get you can actually, like, when you are practicing CSAT questions, what happens? You get more accustomed to the way of way of solving problems, way of solving reasoning and logical questions. So that will improve your performance in the examination. So what I want you to do is, so to prepare well for CSAT examination, don't, at least categorize you can categorize your daily preparation. Probably you may be preparing for 10 hours, 10 or 12 hours daily. So you can invest 2 or 3 hours for CSAT examination. If you are not from non-math background and if your communication skills are poor, probably you may need more amount of time daily. But if you are from engineering background and your communication skills are okay, then you can invest 2 to 3 hours, and that will bring a magnificent change in your performance. So that is the preliminary exam. That is about preliminary examination. So then coming to mains examination, my options were public administration and geography. And I was good at geography since my first attempt. So what I suggest you to do is, so for mains examination you have 2 optional subjects and 1 general studies, 2 general studies papers, right? So for optional subjects purpose, you might have come across the suggested books by this time, right? So first read those suggested books, well noted books. Then if you haven't finished reading anything on any topic given in the syllabus, focus on that topic. Try to find material for that topic alone from any other coaching center, right? So your basic ground will be prepared, the foundation will be prepared from basic text suggested books and coaching center material. Then you can look into websites and newspapers and update things. Many times what happens in mains examination, like you may have very good information about the current happenings in your any optional which you are writing, but the people who are correcting your paper, they may not be aware about the issues that are very recent in nature. So in order to catch their attention, you have to be well prepared on foundation of the subject. That means you have to be prepared on, you have to read the suggested books and coaching center materials for a few topics. Then you can improve on that foundation. So that is about optionals. Then coming to general studies has been a question mark since my first attempt. I invested a lot of energy in preparing for general studies in my first attempt, but it didn't reward me anyway. I didn't get through mains in my first attempt because I feel I invested more time on preparing for general studies. So what I suggest you, especially for first attempt, for those who are going to give their first attempt very shortly, you can invest more time on options and give your attempt, and then you can focus on general studies. Even in the general studies, the case is same. Like you have some suggested textbooks. You need to read them, read and revise them many times. Then the newspaper reading will alone take 2 to 3 hours daily. Newspaper reading and some magazines reading, right? So you keep it at later stage. Preference why I am saying first give preference to optional subjects. Don't emphasize so much on general studies. Once you give your first mains, you get a lot of time to prepare for interview and general studies. While you are preparing for interview, you get an opportunity to prepare for next attempts general studies also. Well, if you have more time, if you are going to give your prelims at a later stage, if you are trying to attempt prelims in 2013, then you can perhaps invest more energy on preparing for general studies. But for those who want to give their attempt in 2012, it is better till prelims you can concentrate on general studies, then emphasize mainly upon optional subjects. That is what I can suggest for mains examination purpose. Then coming to interview, I mean, how many of you have given your mains once? You have given this time. So you are alone preparing for an interview this time, right? Okay. Anyhow, I will discuss about interview preparation also briefly. See, interview is a kind of personality test that will test your personality attributes, traits. Right. Here it is more to do with your attitude rather than knowledge gathering. So what I suggest you to do is you go and meet people. You go and meet common man. More you go and meet farmer. Go and meet some any other ordinary fellow also who is doing some other work. Who is into some other occupation. Get to know their side of problems. You put yourself in their place and try to think their problem. Then again meet government officials also. It will help. You will get to know what government officials' perception is about the service. Like how much choice they have to work. How much choice they have to work and get rid of this political tension, and how much choice they have to really put forward their opinion frankly and see the results. So you can get to know these things when you interact with officials. So you do these two things, then read many general books. Reading books will help you a lot. Especially for essays, for your next attempt as well as for interview purpose. It will help you in writing essays, and it will help you improve your performance in optional subjects and general studies also. Right. So, any questions about preparation?
What's your advice regarding the person who are working for? Because we hardly get 5 or 6 hours per day for study. So how should be the preparation for this?
In my first attempt, I was working and giving the attempt. Right, it happened in 2009. So while I was working, I could, as you said, I could only invest 4 to 5 hours in preparation. Right, that was sufficient for preliminary examination purpose, but I felt it was totally. I was getting nowhere to near to my target relating to mains examination. So what I feel, you can take perhaps leave of 3 months or so, and so you can invest your energy on options after that point of time. Because options are more rewarding these days. You might have known this, because when you see rankers scores, you tend to see more marks on options. For example, my scores are 2010 examination score. GS was 135 and 115, so it was 250. I invested a lot of energy in this paper actually, right? So, but Ed, I got only 250, and then public administration, I got 168 and 118. This paper ruined me. Total was 286, but still it was rewarding. Geography, was 335, and essay was 116. So total was 980, and my interview score was 150. Total was this grand total. So this is how my attempt was. 2010 attempt.
What's your rank, sir?
My rank is 627. I got into IRAS. So if you see this marking pattern, actually see here you can go up to 320. If you are very good at general studies and your awareness is very good on many topics, because the questions they are asking are very broad in it. They cover very wide areas. They are not related to any single area, and they cannot be found in any one textbook, or they cannot be found in any one coaching center textbook. So you have to have a good basic understanding of many areas on which they are asking. For example, there are a few questions asked in science and technology this year, right? If I can recollect, one question was about omega-3 fatty acids. I found it in Hindu Metropolis edition. Right. So you may not get all information about general studies examination in any paper, and like there is no well-defined path for general studies examination as such. Right. This attempt, I tried to improve my score on general studies. What I did is I have compartmentalized the total topics in general studies. I have made the entire syllabus. Actually, if you can see the syllabus, you will find out the various like broad headings in the syllabus. Right? See, there are social issues, political issues, international issues. Likewise, India's interaction with the world, India's economic interaction with the world, likewise, it was there. Right? What I tried to do is, like I used to pick up news and I used to arrange it according to the topic name. If it is relating to poverty, I used to place the news under poverty. If it is relating to primary education, I used to place the news under primary education. So likewise, it was more. I made it more flexible. My notes look like more. My notes looks more flexible, and I can have a very good understanding on any given topic after reading my notes. So I don't need to go through any coaching center material later on to like get hold of the basic information about these issues. I can rely on my notes. Otherwise, I used to prepare notes on a daily basis, day-wise. During my 2010 attempt, I used to make notes on day by day pattern. What happens here is you don't relate news with the issues. You understand, right?
Yes.
So that's what happened in the year 2010. I tried to rectify that problem, so probably I may get more marks in this area also this year. So this is how I made improvement in general studies. For those guys who are going to give their first attempt, like you can focus on these areas. They are more rewarding to you, and even this area. This area doesn't require much preparation, because if you can give a nice introduction, then probably a person going to read your essay will be very much satisfied to read the whole essence of your essay. Like that's how it will be awarded. I mean, marks will be awarded. So for this purpose, what I suggest you to do is, like whenever you read articles in Hindu or some other Frontline or some other very good magazine, or even Kalyan sir is mailing a number of articles regularly. So when you are reading those articles, you try to see how they are introducing a topic. Like there are scholars like John Dries who write wonderful introductions. Like in one article I saw, like when he was about to talk about the poverty line estimation, he gave 3 instances. He referred 3 instances. Like he was about to criticize the poverty line, and he gave 3 instances. He referred 3 individuals who are very poor, but they can not be given poverty line state. They cannot be given BPL states. Right? So it is a way of introduction. It is a way of introducing your essay. So there are many types of introducing an essay that you will get to know only when you read articles. Articles from very good scholars and get hold of the way of introduction.
Nancy exam, and start writing practically must. And start writing practically must for Nancy exam. Should we have start from this year or after failing exam is over?
Frankly speaking, I haven't taken any coding for essay. What I suggest, if your communication skills are decent, and try to first, whenever you read any article, try to learn new words. New words, I mean, how they are using English words appropriately. I'm saying, like, you have to learn the technique. Because if you learn that technique and if you know how to write a good introduction, and logically your argument is fine, and if you are a bit leftist, not totally, a bit, I meant to say here pro-poor, pro-woman, this kind of approach. If you show this kind of approach, a tilt towards leftism, you get rewarding marks. Your argument should be logical, and your introduction should be catchy.
So this learning essay, and what's the optional writing?
For optional purpose, you can join any test series and register for any test series and do it. Optional purpose, yes, practice is very necessary.
It is often found that most of the persons who have already cleared the exam score less marks in paper 2 as compared to paper 1. What is the reason? Most of the.
Okay, perhaps they are good in paper 1.
I got a corrected question. So, do they ask questions on which you got to take a stand? For example, say civil service activism and the like. And what is the path that you tread? I mean, is it right or wrong?
Is it
How do you
are you talking about interview or
No, the mains paper. Say PubAd paper 2 or essay.
public administration paper 2? Public administration paper 2, like you have to answer to the question. If the question is about criticizing it, you need to criticize it totally. If it is about comment, you can write your comment. You can have a balanced opinion. While writing questions which is having comment as the question. It depends on question which you are answering. If it is about criticism, you can write criticism of the. You have to write. So you need to know the both sides. The critic of civil service activism and the positive points of civil service activism. Then only you can write answer according to the question.
But is it okay to take a stand? For example, if you got more pros than cons, can you say, yes, this is, conclude by saying that, okay, this makes sense? Or you just...
Stand, actually, it is very academically oriented. You can take stand in interview, right? But in examination, you have to write answer to the question, right? So, if the question is about critic, you can write critic of civil service activism, and you can take a stand. You can take a balanced approach. You have to be critical. You have to be critical of civil service activism. There is no other option, because you are asked to write critic of civil service activism. That is not about your stand.
Could you say about the time management in details regarding prelims, finance and interview?
Right. In prelims, you don't find any time constraint, at least after introducing this CSAT paper. And in general studies paper, you have 100 questions as well. You will be able to finish it up very easily within the time, right? But for CSAT, you have to manage time. That is there. So that is why I am suggesting that you go and practice, take some practice papers and practice them, right? So if you do practice, you can reduce, you can attempt more questions. And one strategy is like try to attempt more number of questions. I have come across people who fail just because they didn't attempt sufficient number of questions.
So they are directing marks, take some process in the wrong and they also lose.
That's true. See, say for example, in your CSAT examination, you have 80 questions, and you are attempting only 50 questions, right? And even there is a possibility that even when you attempt 50 questions, there is a possibility that you may get 10 questions wrong. Yeah, there is very high probability that 10 questions you may get 10 questions wrong, right? What happens finally? Your final score will be around 35, right? But let's take another example. When a person attempts 70 questions, and he attempts, let's say that he attempted 20 questions wrong. Even then, he is better, far better than you, right? Better placed than you. That is what happens with many people who haven't given any practice test. When you give practice test, actually you can realize this.
So, with respect to analyzing previous year's papers, people generally ask you to analyze 5 years and 10 years papers, but do you think it actually papers before 2008 are still relevant for examination? Because with the changing pattern and more focus on current affairs and application-oriented questions.
See, for geography examination, I was relying on test papers of previous 20 years. There are instances when they ask the question that is asked before 15-20 years back also. Though the question is not directly related to the present syllabus, they are asking it. They are picking it from the previous papers and they are asking it. So for geography examination, it helped a lot. For coming to public administration, it is more analytical in nature, right? But there also you get, like when you are going to the examination, you get questions, but the theme remains same. The question, the phrase of the question may be different, but the theme remains same. So when you look those questions, when you solve the questions priorly, you have the benefit of knowing the answer to that question very well. So you could have structured. You could have presented a structured answer if you know the answer priorly. So that is what happens when you actually attend more number of questions. That can be practice more number of questions. That can be through practice the practice test which you take in any coaching center, or can be from the previous year questions. So it will help you because you get to know about the theme and you can frame the structure before itself for that theme.
They ask you a lot of optional related questions.
Right. See, interview is one such thing that nobody can tell you how it will go. Right. In my case, like I had very good hobbies. Very good hobbies which will provoke them to ask questions. Good hobbies in the sense, right? So my interview was mostly focused on my hobbies, and they asked a few questions from geography which are a bit difficult to answer. They are very factual in nature. Like one fellow asked me how much is the wheat trade across the world, international trade, and how much is the international trade in rice. So those are kind of questions that will make you destabilize. Even though you may feel that you are very good in the subject, but still there is an area where you cannot answer questions. it happened to me.
What was the criteria for you to choose public administration and geography?
Well, the public administration and subject, it will let you know about the like administration of this country, and it is more about the local government. It is the areas like local governance, law and order administration. Second paper part that made me take this. That made me take this public administration subject. I was very interested in knowing Indian administration. And coming to geography, I was had enthusiasm to learn about more places since my childhood. So I opted geography as my option, and it clicked. And when I was preparing that point of time, we had a preliminary examination in which we had an optional paper also. At that point of time, regional geography was an area where many questions used to be asked. So I thought it will help. My understanding, my interest, and my optional paper will help me to get into mains examination. I thought I took geography as option.
So can you give us some tips on answer writing and presentation and time management in the mains exam?
As I told you, like for example, for essay examination purpose, you read articles. When you read articles, you get to know about. You try to see how they are introducing the topic. Right? That is a way of presenting the topic. Right? So that will help for essay paper. And as far as option papers are concerned, like these days they are asking many short answers. For short answers, you don't need any kind of introduction or broad conclusions as such. You can directly enter into the topic and, for example, if you are asked about civil service activism, you can directly enter into you can define civil service activism. It will not be asked for more than 30 marks, I suppose. Right? So in that case, you can define civil service activism, and you can quote some examples, and if you are criticizing, if any time when you are trying to do this in public administration, when you are putting an argument, try to support that argument with any known example, well-known example. So that will fetch it. But only quoting examples will not help you. That is a technique while writing analytical questions. As far as geography is concerned, how many students have taken geography as option? Only 2. So as far as geography is concerned, if you are good at drawing, you have to be good at drawing maps. You have to be like within 15-20 seconds, you should be able to draw Indian map, and then like you have to do many things. According to the question, you have to make up your map, right? So you have to be good at that. Then first focus on this area, map pointing. It is area where you can score very well. But, here you have the map pointing is for 60 marks, and here the marking pattern is so liberal that you can get up to 50. Right? For example, take any 60-mark question. In that case, like for the sake of public administration or any other subject, even though you present a very good answer, you will not get more than 40 to 42 marks, right? But in the case of map pointing, like you can get up to 50 easily. If you know about place and write something, you can get 50 marks. So that is advantage with geography paper, and you have to be very good. Like you have to prepare the structured answer before going to examination, because mostly the questions are factual in nature, at least for the first paper part. Right? So prepare structures for like broad structure for any question, any topic in the syllabus, and go to the examination. That is true with any other subject which is factual in nature. for example, anthropology or any other subject which is very factual in nature. For analytical subjects, you cannot have this structured kind of well-structured kind of thing. Only you can have what you can say very well-framed arguments.
Could you suggest how to prepare a class for the geography?
I didn't get you.
A class map points.
How to prepare for map?
How to remember all those points?
So what I have done for map pointing is, like I divided the areas of map pointing into 5 to 6 broad areas, like tourism places, industrial areas, tourism places, rivers, like kind of thing. Like whenever you come across a new place, I try to add that new place in this framework. If I come across a new river, I list it in this under this framework. I will list it. So while revising, I try to read and revise many times. So I get to know about more number of rivers and read a lot. Like there has to be a framework first, then read and revise. That's all.
Can you explain me the structure of frame of structure? Factual question and analytical question. Can you explain about one question? How you structure the question for factual and analytical? In your experience, come across experience.
Okay. So for factual sake, let me take an example of a geography question. Like there was a question asked in 2010 mains examination. It was about marine deposits. So there are marine pelagic deposits. So like it is a straightforward question, factual in nature, direct. So when you are going to write this when you are going to write the answer, you have to frame structure in. I frame the structure in question paper itself. There are calcareous deposits, argillaceous, and there are two other sub-classifications within it. Right. So when you write it up, when I read question, I quickly just scribble these things on my question paper itself. So while I am about to answer the question, I just elaborate it on this facts. I mean on these broad headings. I will just elaborate. The question is all about 50 marks, and so it is about writing 150 words. So I can easily make up an answer. While coming to analytical questions, you have to structure in a way that so first you try. If it is a 30 marker, you try to 60 marker. If it is a 60 marker, you try to present a first introduction pair where you give a brief picture of the summary of the entire answer that is you are going to write.
You are going to analyze.
Yeah. So you have to give a brief introduction in first para. Like first para should tell them that this is what I am going to answer. Then you elaborate it with arguments supporting this theme. So you are going to write a theme to that answer. There is a theme in your question. First, understand the theme, then answer to that question briefly, then put forward arguments, support it with examples if you know, case studies, examples, then conclusion.
What kind of websites did you follow for government programs, international relations? Did you find anything particularly useful?
Yes, there are a few websites which I found useful. For example, there is a website called PRS Legislative Research. It gives you details about the government bills, and it analyzes a number of bills that are going to be present, that are already present, and that are at various stages of passing in the parliament. So that was useful. And there is one more website which is India Together. India Together. Just Google it. Don't remember the website address. India Together. Here also you get to know about many articles written by noted scholars like Ramchandra Guha, John Rees. Many people are there, so you can get to know about this. And otherwise also like I search by topic. Like if I am interested to know about the problems of intelligence, I search and I read articles of noted scholars from, who I have already come across in any other magazine. Like say for intelligence purpose, to gather information about intelligence, I have read articles of R.K. Raghavan. Those are found in DNA. There is a website called DNA, Daily News and Analysis. So I have found articles written by R.K. Raghavan in this website. So read articles written by noted scholars. They can be in any other website, any website.
So what are the problems faced and the mistakes done by you during your preparation? Your problems faced and your mistakes done during your preparation.
Yes, actually coming to mistakes which I have done. See, as I told you in my first attempt, I was focusing more on general studies. It didn't reward me anything. I got 235 in my general studies paper, so which was above average nonetheless at that point of time. Because many people scored poorly, quite performed very poorly in that examination, but it didn't give me any extra edge. So in totality, it didn't give me any extra edge because I neglected optional subjects. I performed poorly in geography and public administration. So that was
priority should be given equally to all the papers.
actually first time was you can give more emphasis to optional subjects. Yes. So when you give more emphasis to optional subjects, what happens? You get through the main stage. Right. So by preparing for interview, you have to read many books. So then your general studies preparation is done. You have to read daily newspaper. So you can plan that way if time is a constraint. Otherwise you can plan accordingly. Otherwise you can focus on all the subjects. And that is what my first mistake. And second one was not completing syllabus in my second attempt. I couldn't complete public administration second paper syllabus.
Is it necessary to complete the syllabus? Because there were some options, so as writing the maths.
Of course. Because these days, what are they asking? They are asking topic. They are asking questions from each and every topic, and most of the time you don't have any choice also. You have to write answer to the given question, isn't it? Have you seen
the first questions of all the sections are compulsory, and you can choose the rest. But there are two sections in every paper on 9 sections. Only 5 questions I think, and totally you have to give the answers of total 5 questions. In each section, the first question is compulsory, I think. So you can choose the 4.
No. Like if
you have the option to choose.
Yeah.
So is it necessary to go to the syllabus?
What is happening? If you have seen 2009, 10, 11 papers, they are trying to remove this, remove the flexibility of choosing in examination, choosing questions in examination. Like for example, if you, as you said, there are correctly we need to answer 5 questions in every paper, right? coming to first and fifth question, you don't have any choice right now. Every
Yes,
question is compulsory.
compulsory.
It is made compulsory, right? That is the case with the fifth question also, right? And then the thing with the remaining questions is also like the remaining questions also they have made such thing like they have divided every 60 marker into 20 marker, 30 marker, and 10 marker, and they have placed different topics. The question they have framed questions from different topics under a single question. So you are forced to read entire syllabus.
And A, B, C.
Yeah.
In one question, they are reading 2 or 3 questions.
So you are forced to read entire syllabus. So that is what the mistake I have done in my second attempt. And regarding my third attempt, I will get to know only when I finish my attempt. As of now, I think it went fine.
And sir, what are the problems you faced during your preparation?
Problems, yes, there was, for civil service aspirant, there are qualities which I say necessary are dedication and the motivation to read, motivation to get into service. Right, I had that since the beginning, but I somehow felt I was not getting the correct guidance which I had to get on many occasions, not with the first attempt or second. There are many occasions I thought I didn't get correct guidance, but it happens because see, when you are preparing for examination, so you cannot expect everything to be known to you, right, since the beginning. So it is a learning process. So it was a learning process. Only in learning I got through that. Only through the learning I got to know that the guidance could have been better. That aspect could have been better. And apart from that, anything went wrong.
Did you join any coaching from maths and interview?
No, I don't suggest you to join any coaching for interview purpose. Do what I said. It is more about exposing your personality. It is not about presenting more facts. So try to make up your personality by reading more number of books, good articles. Kalyan sir sends very good articles.
Yes.
Right. So try to read those articles and read books that will broaden your horizon. That will help you in your general studies examination in your subsequent attempts also. So these things you can do for interview examination and go and meet people as I said. And for mains examination purpose, yes, I have taken coaching for public administration in Mohanty's Synergy Program, Delhi. Delhi.
Have you read any non-text academic textbooks, say for example India After Gandhi or London Illegally, which can help you in essay writing or your public administration writing?
Yes, I am reading India After Gandhi. I could finish three-fourths of that book. I felt it is very good, and you can read that book also. Yes, it will help. Definitely, reading books away from which are not part of your academic background really help you in writing your essays. It will improve your performance in a general studies examination also. As I told you, there are questions which you may not expect to be asked, but they are found somewhere else. Right? That will help you. And even in your essay examination, or for example, as you were told that, as you mentioned, India After Gandhi by Ramchandra Guha, it will definitely help you in writing public administration questions. Your understanding of the bureaucracy improves. So it will help you in public administration. And there are definitely many books which can help you in your examination. For example, books written by Nandan Nilekani, Amartya Sen. You can read them.
One last question from my side. I guess that you must have faced this question in the interview board also. You are a civil engineer from IIT Madras, and why did you choose to enter bureaucracy?
this is one of the very difficult questions to answer at any point of time. But I try to realize, I try to question myself and get some kind of answer. See, I thought like at the age of, at the very early age of 25, 26, you get to, you can ignore about yourself and dedicate to the service of the nation. What else you want?
Probably you can do that as a civil engineer also.
Yeah, that is true. But at the very early age in your career, it cannot be possible.
So have you joined the IRAS already?
I am going to join on the 21st. My training will be started.
So did you face any questions from your engineering stream during interview?
Yes.
So we need to prepare our engineering subjects also. Only for interview.
So obviously in terms of postgraduates.
Now it depends on the academic area.
If you have so much aversion, only for interview. But okay, be prepared for interview since the beginning. That is good. But don't have so much aversion about engineering subject also. I'm not saying I'm not pointing you, but in general I'm saying have the curiosity to learn. Even I didn't have that curiosity to learn while I was doing BTech. But frankly, I'm confessing. But have the curiosity to learn things. So engineering is one. Engineering gives you an opportunity to learn many things. You can see what you can do for engineering subject is you might have this. You might have been given the curriculum or syllabus book, right? For interview purpose, I'm saying. See, for interview purpose, we can take that syllabus paper and try to identify topics on which the latest developments are taking place and on which the common man is very interested. Right? For as I'm civil engineer, the common man will be interested in infrastructure and dams, energy projects, kind of thing. So the questions were also asked on those lines in my first interview, that is the previous interviews. So I think preparing on that line will definitely help in interview.